How can a story with just a few lines of dialogue create such a profound, bone-deep fear? Well, today we're going to deconstruct the simple, terrifying genius of the animated short, Mother. We're going to break down exactly how it turns the ultimate place of safety into a source of absolute dread.
Wow. That single line right there is the entire heart of the terror. It's the moment the story's core conflict is just laid completely bare. See, this isn't about a monster hiding in the closet. It's about a monster wearing the face of the one person who's supposed to protect you from them. So, let's rewind and see how in the world we got to this horrifying point. Every great horror story builds its foundation on something familiar, something we can all relate to. And Mother uses one of our most universal fears, being a child alone in the dark.
And that's the key, isn't it? It doesn't start with a bang. It starts with a whisper. A little girl, Lisa, she can't sleep. We've all been there, right? This simple, relatable moment grounds us in reality, and it makes us feel comfortable right before the story yanks the rug out from under us.
And what's really interesting here is the pattern being established. The mother's response, it's immediate, it's loving. Milk is provided, comfort is given. This isn't just a routine, it's a ritual of safety. The mother is the provider, the protector. Everything is exactly as it should be.
And this is where the ordinary begins to curdle into the unsettling. That safety net that was just established, it's about to be tested.
Okay, so these are the last words of comfort from the real Mother. It's a promise of a quick return, a reassurance that the safety we just witnessed will be restored in just a moment. And this promise is absolutely crucial, because when it's broken, that's what generates all the tension.
And there it is, the knock, the quiet, almost polite arrival. But just listen to the words. Hello, Lisa, it's me. It's just slightly off, Not mommy's back, but this stilted, strange announcement. It's the very first sign that the person on the other side of that door is not who they claim to be.
So this feeling, it actually has a name, the uncanny. It's not the fear of the unknown, it's the horror of the known being twisted just enough to feel wrong. It taps into this primal fear, the fear that the one person you are biologically wired to trust, your caregiver, could be replaced by a hostile double. It's this almost that is so deeply terrifying because it corrupts our most basic sense of safety.
Okay, now we're going to see how this all builds to the story's absolute peak of terror, where the familiar is fully transformed into the monstrous.
The imposter mimics the mother's role perfectly. It knows the ritual. It knows that providing milk is what the mother is supposed to do, so by repeating this action, it's trying to make itself seem legitimate. But as we're about to see, the execution is just a grotesque parody.
And here it is, Lisa's dawning horror, expressed in the simple, devastating observation of a child. It's not just that the milk is the wrong color, it's that something nurturing has been replaced by something that looks like blood. The symbol of life and comfort is now a symbol of violence and death.
There's no comfort here, no choice, just a single stark command. Drink. The mother's act of giving has been twisted into an act of force. This is the absolute inversion of maternal care. So let's be clear, this isn't a mother, this is a predator.
So the confrontation is over, but that fear, it lingers. Now we're going to explore what happens when the real world and the real mother return to the scene.
Just imagine this scene for a second. The real mother comes back calling for her daughter only to find her hiding, completely paralyzed with fear. The relief she feels at finding Lisa is immediately mixed with confusion and concern. The sanctuary of the home has been violated.
This contrast, right here, is the core horror of the entire story. On one side, you've got the predator, demanding, offering corruption, and commanding obedience. And on the other, the protector, calling out, offering comfort, and asking what's wrong. The story forces us to compare the two and realize just how easily one can be mistaken for the other, especially in the dark.
Now look at the steps the real mother takes. She methodically undoes the damage. She checks for monsters. She declares it safe. She offers the real milk. And most importantly, she offers her own presence as the ultimate shield. She is actively, piece by piece, rebuilding the trust that was just shattered.
So, the ritual of safety has been restored. The monster is gone. Everything should be okay now, right? Well, the story leaves us with one final, deeply unsettling thought.
On the surface, yeah, we have a happy ending. The threat was identified, it was vanquished, the real mother is back, and Lisa is protected. The story seems to resolve itself pretty neatly, but the fear it unlocked, that doesn't just disappear.
And that's the question that stays with you, isn't it? The story's true horror isn't the monster that came and left. It's the permanent crack it leaves in your sense of security. It plants a seed of doubt that may never truly go away. Because once you know that the face of love can be worn by a monster, the dark will never feel quite the same again.